Hey, howdy and happy day. Trump, McDonald's. It was a hoot. Watching him the other day doing that. He was serving food and frying French fries, and he was at the takeout, It was hilarious. He breaks me up, that guy. One fella drove up and Trump gave him the food and they shook hands, and the young guy, just before he drives away, he says, "I'll see you around." And Trump, with no hesitation, says, "I'll be at the White House." That makes me laugh. He's confident and good for him. There are polls out that show that they are neck and neck. They being, of course, Harris and Trump. Really sounds like a horse race, and so I have said, it is a horse race. Treated like a horse. You have jockeys. Trump is a jockey. Harris is a jockey. And they're steering a little bit, but it's a horse race, and you have to bet on the horse. What policy do you want? There's a horse on the left, there's a horse on the right. Act accordingly, and I hope it's a great election, and I hope the right horse wins, because the left horse is wrong. It's just wrong. Just saying, you got to have perspective. Jump in here. Perspective. Have you got it? The world is upside down. When you listen to the left-wing people, it is truly upside down. Boys are girls, and your little child Johnny goes to school in the morning and he comes home in the afternoon as Susan, and it's a mix-up. So people have added some humor to that, and maybe the world's just gotten to them, or maybe they've given up. But there's upside down houses constructed in many different countries: Poland, Russia, America, Canada, Germany, lots of them. But there's one that's really unique, and it's in Wisconsin. And it's the White House. It's a tourist attraction, I get it, but it took a lot of vision, ingenuity, entrepreneurship to build that. And good for them. So there's the White House. It is upside down, and it has been in the past. Will it be more? Yeah, maybe. It'll be totally upside down if Harris gets in. That's hard to even bring into my brain. But Trump, it'll be upside down in its own way. Policies are good. But certainly he's controversial. Every day he wakes up and says, "Who can I call a name to today?" But he does get the job done. So it's kind of interesting stuff. A perspective. Hey. Now we have digital detox centers that are popping up all over the world. Are you kidding me? It's another new business. Is this like climate change and all these other scammy kinds of things, billion-dollar industries they've become? Now we have digital detox retreats. Will companies soon force you to go, and they'll say, "Hey, it's kind of like you're a drug addict now. You're addicted to this." So it's become a business. And will the benefit plans start to pay for it? There's so many ifs and kinds and sorts. We'll see as time goes on, but it's pretty interesting. One company here in particular is saying, disconnect or reconnect. Hey, I'll give individuals freedom and permission. They need to truly unplug and decompress and blah, blah, blah. You got a relationship with digital technology, boo, 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 digital detox experiences, come here and we'll help you kind of get back to the real world. Oh my, that's kind of good. Now you have polls, and I've always said polls are for strippers and maybe dogs, but polls are used, and governments that are in power, particularly more than the other people, try to have polls, out there that aren't accurate. Canada is famous for that, of course, because the government owns the press. So whenever it looks like the other party's getting some traction, you just put a poll out to say that they're nowhere close to you, and people say, "Oh, no point in me voting," and then they spread it. It's kind of like a little gossip mill, right? There were polls in British Columbia. British Columbia is interesting. So many people from Seattle, they just take the hour drive or whatever it is, maybe two. But certainly Washington State, it's a pretty active border crossing, and they go up there and they see, hey, this is kind of a different world. We're left-wing in Washington, but look at Vancouver. Wow, these are really left-wing folk. Now, the NDP, which stands for New Democrat Party, which stands for Old Communist Approach, they're in power. And they're left-wing wackos. And I got to say, they just do a bad job of running the province, and it costs so much to live there. People say, hey, it's a sunshine tax. So it's okay because it's a beautiful place to live. I get it. But you should have good government. A year and a half ago, the Conservative Party, who got, I think, 2% in votes in the prior election, they got rejigged here a year and a half ago. And John Rostad is the leader. I've talked with him, and we met at a function here not long ago when I was up there, as it were, and nice guy. And he's pulled it off, kind of, sort of. The election was just, the other day, the 19th of October. And last I looked, it was a tie. That means half of the province is still voting for the Pinkos. Hard to understand, but they have. However, there's hope now because the Conservatives, if they don't get power, they're next in line. You know, Liberals are interesting folk, and more or less, we've heard that term. Less is more. We've heard that term. Well, they give you more. They give you more taxes. They give you more bureaucracy. They give you more red tape. It's kind of the same thing. They give you more pain and less. They give you less. They give you less freedom, and they give you less money. More or less is more. That's Liberal. Don't ever vote for them. Vote right. You got Trump coming on down there, down south. Get it done. All of you people in the world, look around and see. Is your life better now than it was 4 or 5 years ago? That's the U.S. and 4 years ago. And is it better in other countries as well? Hey, you get where I'm going. Politically, right is right, left is wrong. Let's go and win all of these things. The silent majority, it's our fault that things have progressed, that's a word, left-wingism, like it has. Hey, see ya.